My name is David Howell. I'm a chess grandmaster and an Olympic gold medalist. Today, I'm facing 100 amateurs in a 9-hour blitz marathon. I've played chess since I was 5 years old, and out of hundreds of millions of people who play chess, I'm ranked number 55 in the world. My current blitz rating is 2564. My goal is to climb back above 2600. That's where I used to be, and that puts me back in the top 100 for blitz. It's not going to be easy though. There's a 13-year-old prodigy out to stop me. And if he beats me, my tournament and my chance of reaching the top 100 is over. In chess, there are 4 main master titles: Candidate Master, FIDE Master, International Master, and Grandmaster. Once you earn one, it's yours for life. But ratings are different. They go up and down with every game. It's as brutal as it is simple. Beat someone stronger, you gain big. Beat someone weaker, you barely increase. But if you lose to someone weaker than you drop fast. To enter the top 100, I have to risk playing tournaments like this, where I'm expected to win every single game. Just one slip against a lower rated player can cost me everything. In blitz, my peak was 2679, and it's my target to get back there. 30 games ahead of me, with no room for mistakes. The first few games, smooth, clean. I can feel the rhythm right away. Some games are easier than others, but every win keeps the momentum building. 5 straight wins, and I'm back on the top of the leaderboard. Scoring is simple: 1 point for a win, half a point for a draw, and nothing for a loss. Over 30 games, every single point matters. But my next opponent isn't just another amateur, it's Hvard, the 13-year-old prodigy who's already beaten some of the best players in the world online. But this is over the board. This is going to be different, right? Handshakes and we're off. My opponent, the youngster, just an FM, but already clearly at grandmaster strength at blitz chess. He opens with 1 e4 and I reply with a Caro-Kann. Quick trade of pawns, my knight comes out, and after a bit of a think, Hvard goes for one of the bravest lines in chess, the alien gambit. Sacrificing a knight for a pawn, bringing my king out. This was actually something I'd studied not long before this game, so I was feeling pretty confident. As you can see on the eval bar, black is massively better, big advantage. It's not a sound line, the alien gambit, but it's become famous as a meanie opening. Bit of a fun one, popular among players of lower levels as they try to attack their more experienced opponents. And Hvard, he knew my style. He knew I don't like defending. Look at all my pieces though. They're in perfect spots for now. And it was here though, the first real dilemma sank in. My clock ticking felt faster than ever. I lost over 1.5 minutes as I pondered what to do. I gave my opponent a pawn, but I continued thinking. Right now, black has an extra knight. Only 2 pawns in return for white, but white's pieces, especially the queen, very active. Trade bishop for knight, and already the first mistake. White looking much better now as the king is open. I take the white knight off the board, but Hvard gives me a chance by taking back with a pawn. I offer a queen trade, declined. And again, a bit of a dilemma. My rook steps up to defend my king. The white rook comes towards my king here, going on the attack, trade of rooks. And here you can see my nerves knocking over the rook there. Hvard pouncing on the last move, a mistake. I should have developed my bishop the other way because now the white rook is coming to pin me. The black bishop jumping in the path into the defense. But the bishop is not stable. It's not going to last much longer on that square. Already here internally, my blood was boiling. I was so nervous under the 10-second mark, knowing now that my opponent had such a scary attack. I was forced to give up my rook for a bishop. The material count is actually level, but it's all about the attack. White's position so easy to play. For black, it's so difficult to even move. And here we see a trade of pawns, and Hvard finds the key idea, bringing the white rook across. It was this moment I knew that my back was against the wall. I was probably falling to defeat in this game. Panic as I make a move with just 2 seconds left. The position repeats itself. Hvard teasing me there, but not going to repeat, not going to allow a draw. He forces my pieces all back to the final rank there, super passive. And again, switching his rook across, my defenses have been stretched to the maximum. Pawns dropping now. We see beautiful tactic from Hvard. Rook takes knight, deflection. My face there tells the whole story. I was looking away in disgust. It's simply a few pawns up for white. Too many extra pawns. The checks continue. White's king. Look how safe it is in the corner. Black's king, naked. No defenders around it. And the final stages here were just painful. Oof, tough position. Inside, I was trying to stay positive, trying to look for any last remaining hope. You can see on the eval bar, white is totally winning though. Pawns disappearing still. One final attempt. I take a pawn, but a series of checks is going to end it. Check, check. One final check. Queen's being traded, and I had to resign. Devastation, heartbreak, as I lose my first point and lose a bunch of rating in just one game. And just like that, my first loss. A massive blow. Minus 6.3 rating points. All of my early progress gone in the blink of an eye. Now I have to rebuild. It's a comfortable win against this boy. But now, a giant hurdle. Torstein Bar. It's Torstein Bar. A chess legend in Norway and the man all Norwegians trust to explain chess on TV. The Norwegian David Howell, some say. This is more than just about ELO points. This is about proving myself against the voice of chess in Norway. Bar is an international master who really puts up a strong fight, and in the end, it's a draw. Another setback, minus 3.3 rating points, and I'm in big trouble. After 8 rounds, I've slipped to 3rd place, 6.5 points, while Hvard is on top with 8. I have to fight back. No more upsets. Stay focused. First step, solid play, clean technique, and +2 rating points. Confidence slowly rebuilding, another 2.1 in the bag. By now, the rhythm is back. Quick, precise, no drama. I feel sharper, farming rating points. Each win pulls me closer to the leader. 5 in a row, I'm climbing again, and suddenly I'm back in 2nd place. 11.5 points on the scoreboard, and only Hvard ahead of me. He is unbeaten. He is perfect. 13 out of 13. To catch him, I can't afford a single slip. I have to stay focused, play precise, and keep the pressure on. And I do. Another win. Another 0.8 points in the bag. I'm back. But hold on. What's going on over there? Hvard, the prodigy, the player who seemed untouchable, is in serious trouble for the first time against a FIDE master. And there we go. He drops his first point. Suddenly, the gap is back down to just half a point. For the first time all day, Hvard is within catching distance. The pressure is on. Can he feel me breathing down his neck? Next up, a candidate master. On paper, I'm the favorite, but in blitz, anything can happen. We fight hard, and in the end, I win on time. Another point on the board. And that sets up the game everyone has been waiting for, the rematch against Hvard, the most important game of the tournament. I've already lost to Hvard once, and if he beats me again, my chances of reaching 2600 and top 100 for blitz are gone. Everything comes down to this one game. Handshakes yet again, and we're off. In this tournament, you play each other twice at a maximum. This was my only chance to catch him. I start with the Reti opening, and offering a pawn very early, trying to transpose to the English opening. I try to confuse my young opponent here, but he stays solid. This opening has a very nice reputation for black. Often there's no way to directly attack the opponent, but I had learned my lesson. Having had my fingers burnt earlier against Hvard, I knew I couldn't let him go for my king. I wanted to play as solid as possible. Old man chess, they sometimes call it. And here we see just some slow maneuvering. Only a trade of bishop for knight so far, but those who know me, who know my secrets, know that I love the bishop pair. White with the 2 bishops, with a very small but stable advantage. And here we see Hvard retreating. Not a good sign for him. I start stepping forward, and here I just continue building up, slowly improving my pieces. I'm done with all the thrills and spills, done with all the fun, the fireworks. I just wanted to keep control. A trade of pawns, and the first real mistake from my young opponent here. He allows me to gain space on the queen side, pushing my pawns forward on that left flank, and the white bishop now steps in. A big mistake now, allowing the bishop even further in, a nasty pin, and the pressure is building. My bishop's wreaking havoc here. White's rook's placed perfectly, pushing pawns further forward. Black is so cramped, no space, and it's time to strike. The knight jumps in. If the knight is traded, the white pawn would have replaced it, winning material. So instead, Hvard gambles. Doesn't distract me though. I stay focused, and here we go. Bishop takes rook. I win material for the first time. Big advantage incoming. He attacks my queen, but I take that knight off the board. And when the dust settles, I will be a full piece up, at the very minimum. Right now, it's a rook that I am up. I'm attacking the black queen. I knew that nothing could stop me apart from myself. Self-destruction was the only possible hurdle here. And queen to b2, attacking the knight, attacking the rook. I miss the fact that my knight was attacked, and you can see me react there. A bit of a shake of the head, but the fight goes on. Still winning for white. My material advantage now down to just the exchange. Rook for knight. Instead of being a clear rook up to the good, I offer a trade of queens, trying to shut down the fun, shut down the tactics. But my tricky opponent, look at that, immediately giving up his knight for a double attack. I had to widen my eyes. I was so frustrated at this point that my opponent was not lying down. He was still fighting hard, setting some threats, but I defend everything, and it's queen and rook versus queen and bishop. Obviously, the rook is the better piece. It should still be a winning advantage, but still work to be done. And I couldn't take my eye off the ball. Hvard, so resourceful, so tenacious, not allowing me to make this easy, but he makes his final mistake now with only a couple of seconds left on the clock. He trades queens, and rook versus bishop without queens on the board. Quite straightforward. The white king has a free run into the black camp. Another weakening move from my opponent. I shift the rook out the way. The king coming in now. Nothing's going to stop the advance. The entry. The black bishop powerless. Hvard making moves with just 1 second every time. Nerves kicking in. My king advances. I knew internally here I was going to win. I was going to strike back. And panic from my opponent as his pawns fall. The last few moves, simple now. I defend everything. The pawn's guaranteed to make a new queen in the near future. My opponent running out of material. And there we go, handshake. Back in the game. This time, I win. Revenge delivered. A massive win, worth 3.7 rating points. That pushes me up to 25.72. And for the first time since my early streak, I'm back in the lead. 14.5 points to 14. Hvard is chasing me. Next up is Thorstein Barr again. Last time, it was a draw, but now the tournament is mine to lose. I want to beat him, not just for the momentum, but for the rating points too. For a long time, it looks like deja vu, another draw on the cards, a level game. But then, Thorstein blunders, one big mistake, and suddenly, I'm in control. Checkmate, I win. Finally beating Norway's most famous chess voice. I guess that makes me the real voice of chess in Norway. The momentum keeps building. A win against the FIDE master worth 2 rating points. And then, another international master beaten. I'm now up to 25.77, and with Hvard slipping to a draw, I'm in control of the tournament. 17.5 points to his 16.5. But the next round is a challenge. FIDE master Hvard Al-Tabush sitting in 3rd place and climbing fast. If I want to pull away from Hvard, I'll have to keep the steam up. We joined the time trouble stage of the game. I'd earlier had a winning advantage, but I'd messed it up. I'd lost momentum. And here we see the nerves kicking in for both of us. Just seconds left on the clock. And finally, the big blunder, the bar swings. I get my bishops all caught up in a muddle. And eventually, having lost material, I find myself in a hopeless endgame. Checkmate in 8 moves, as we see here. Inside, I was devastated, trying to hide my emotions. Probably not very well here, but I knew I was heading to my 2nd defeat of the tournament. I had such a good position. It was so frustrating. I nearly never lose with the white pieces. But there we go, handshake and a big setback. Disaster, my 2nd defeat of the day. A gut punch, minus 7.7 rating points, dropping me all the way back down to 25.69. So much of my progress vanished. Luckily for me, Hvard loses as well. But now Hvard is only 2 points behind, and suddenly the tournament has a new threat. Next up, I face the candidate master who just beat Hvard. I can't afford to let another upset slip through. A controlled win, plus 0.8 rating points. Then another candidate master beat, 0.8 more. And an international master taken down, worth 1.2 points. That puts me back at 25-72 and 1.5 points ahead of Hvard for the tournament. He's just drawn again. Next up, another IM, sitting 9th overall. I have to keep the pressure on to hold on to my lead. We join the crucial stage of the game. It's the middle game here. I've given up a pawn early in the opening. I had a great position, controlling the only open file in the center of the board there, the D file, but my opponent advancing his king really started to confuse me. Momentum turned here with a really classy, confident move from my opponent, sliding his queen across, pinning my rook. I get my queen out the way, again controlling that D file, but by pushing his pawn forward from a position of strength, my opponent offers a draw. Quick end to that game, disappointment, but I had to be pragmatic. Another 4.2 points lost there, dropping me down to 25-68. After 24 games, I'm only up 4 rating points on the day. But just like before, when I slip, so does Hvard. Another draw for him too. My lead stays at 1.5 points. Another easy win, plus 0.8 rating points. And again, 0.8. At this stage, it's all about rebuilding what I can, grinding out the small gains against weaker opposition. Win after win, stacking up points. Nothing spectacular, just getting the job done. Finally, the last game of the day against a FIDE master. One more win and a massive 2.1 rating points to finish the marathon. 30 games, 9 hours, 26 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. I end on 27 points and a blitz rating of 25-74. Still just outside the top 100 in the world. A marathon day for just 10.4 rating points. Not much of a payoff, but at least I win the tournament, 1.5 points ahead of Hvard. This time, I stood above the rest, but the hunt for 2600 and the top 100 isn't over. Neither is the prodigy. Next time, he'll come back stronger, and I will have to be ready. Okay, he's gone for this line, looking very, very shaky.
Look at the
Is this a blunder?
He's throwing a thorn into the white side, holding on here for dear life. The nerves are kicking in. He's playing with ghosts, afraid to commit. The clock is his worst enemy right now.
Did he lose on time?
One wrong move, and the whole house falls down.
Whoa, whoa, is this a blunder?
Checkmate is coming.